You may remember one of the great pioneers in Black American history, Nat Turner, a slave who led one of the bloodiest slave rebellions in American history. His story was told in the Confessions of Nat Turner, and now a stage play will retell that story in Nat's last struggle. Well, joining us now is the director of the play, Timothy Jones. Timothy, we are so glad to have you with us here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we want to talk about this great project for the people who may not know. Tell us about the story of Nat Turner and how you got involved in this project.
I got involved when the executive producer, April Dobbs, called me and told me that they wanted to honor Nat Turner. It just so happened that we chose to do it during Black History Month. And then we were fortunate enough to cast an amazing actor, John L. Adams. He's been in Girlfriends, CSI. He used to be a series regular on The Dead Zone. And then we were able to partner with Conejo Players Theater in Thousand Oaks. So we're able to do this even during a pandemic, but we want to honor Nat and tell a story that's really largely been untold.
Definitely. I mean, it cues us up on our Black history. So the Confessions of Nat Turner retold his life story from slavery to ministry to events that led up to the rebellion. Can you give folks a little insight on what they can expect to see from this great play?
Well, I think that people can expect to see another side of Nat Turner because there's a lot of misconceptions involving him. We know so much about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, but with Nat Turner, I think sometimes there's just a negative depiction of what happened in history. But now you'll get to see the many layers of his childhood. You'll get to see the relationship that he had with his mother, how he became a preacher, and what led to him actually taking action to defend himself.
So the Turner story is a very powerful one, as you just mentioned, that resonates with so many Americans, especially at a time like this. We're talking about when social inequities still are an issue. How does this production reflect some of the current struggles facing America right now?
The reason why I said yes to this play was because there's so many parallels to what's going on in society. When April called me last year, it was only a few months after George Floyd was murdered. And there was a lot of action on television with Black Lives Matter and protests, and there was a lot of political unrest. And so this story is so timely because even though this was so long ago, we're still dealing with some of the same challenges.
And so with those challenges, I mean, looking at this play, what are you hoping that people will be able to take from that?
We hope that people can learn from Nat and try to understand his reasoning. We're not by any means making an attempt to justify anything. We're telling a story, and we're letting the audience reach their own conclusions. But we want to learn from him that we need to speak up for ourselves. We need to be grateful for the rights and privileges that we have today. And we also need to pay homage to people that actually did what they thought was in their best interest to protect others.
And leaving people with the most memorable thing about Nat Turner, what would you say?
Wow. The most memorable thing about Nat Turner was that he took action. We have so many people that talk about what needs to change in society, but they very rarely will do something. So this is something that I want my children and our children, because this is something for the entire family. So we encourage everyone to watch this live stream because we want young people to learn from this, that you have to speak up for yourself and you have to be courageous enough to take action.
And Tim, lastly, tell our viewers, where can they watch this play starting this Friday, right?
Yes. CBJ Productions in association with Conejo Players Theater. They can go to the Conejo Players Theater and they'll see the poster for Nat's Last Struggle. If they click on the link, they can purchase their tickets. The tickets are pay what you can. That means everybody can afford it. And Conejo Theaters is a 501(c)(3) nonprofit, so your ticket purchases are tax deductible. Just tell them CBJ referred you.
All right. Well, Tim Jones, we are looking forward to it, and we appreciate you working on this great project because many people need to know all about our Black history. We thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.